All right, guys, it's time for the new updated tier list. Let's get it popping, guys. So we're going to be showcasing all the new unit buffs as well as the new units, and then we're going to be ranking them on the tier list. We got a bunch of good stuff today in this episode, so let's get it. All right, so first up, let's take a look at Doflamingo. This guy got a pretty nice buff, so we're going to be checking out how good he is. All right, so raid mode-wise, pretty decent stats. All right, raid mode stats. Honestly, really good raid mode stats. Okay, these are actually surprisingly good. So for raid mode, this guy is definitely a W. He got a lot of good stats. Plus, he's the Holy Enchant, so he's a good combo with Samasu. So personally speaking, guys, I think, I don't know what I just did there. Personally, I think we should be putting our boy Doflamingo. I think he now deserves... I'm trying to decide. I think he deserves B tier. Yeah, you know what? He definitely deserves B tier, guys. I don't think he's good enough for A, but definitely good enough for B. Very, very good unit, guys. All right, let's go sell this guy and check out the next units we got. All right, let me also turn on the attack effects if you guys want to see them. We got Naruto. This guy got a really nice buff. He's actually really OP now. Look at these stats, man. These stats are crazy good. I played with him in Hell Raid, and he was cracked. So in my opinion, he's definitely raid meta. Like, look at these crazy stats. And hybrid now, too. Like, bro, this is insane. And also, I calculated his infinite mode damage as well, and it is actually quite high, too. So in my opinion, I believe Naruto is definitely a really, really good unit. I low-key kind of want to put him in A tier. So I'm going to put him in A tier, guys. I think he's really good. Definitely recommended you guys get him if you can. All right, next up we got Ziz. Ziz is an air unit. All right, he has the lightning enchant, so that means he's going to be good for Marine Raid and Sigen Raid. All right, look at these stats. Not bad at all. God. Wait, no. Maybe it's the Spirit Raid. I think it's the Spirit Raid, not Sigen. Sigen is fire, so Spirit Raid. All right, but other than that, they're the same raid. So pretty good stats, guys, for a full AoE unit. Almost 100,000 damage. Actually, probably exactly 100,000 damage with no buff. So pretty good. And then max stats for infinite mode aren't great. They're not bad, but they're not great. So personally, I think he's slightly worse than Naruto. And I think a very, very fair spot for my boy would be in the... Yeah, I think he's probably more of a B tier unit. All right. So, next up we have Messi, the Egoist. This guy is a blue enchant. He has some pretty decent stats as well. All right. If we take a look at his raid mode stats, really cheap and hybrid and pretty good damage. All right. Nothing too crazy, a little bit over 100,000 DPS. But they also gave him critical hits on his last upgrade as well, which makes him pretty decent for infinite mode too. Now, personally, I think he's slightly worse than Naruto. Like, if we take out a look at the max stats, slightly worse. You can see Naruto just kind of straight up cracked. So, even with the critical hits, I'm probably leaning more towards Naruto with the AoE. So, personally, I think Messi is probably going to be a B tier unit. Nothing too crazy there. All right, so next up, we got another blue unit, Pegasus Warrior. I'll place him down to compare him with these guys for y'all. All right, you're going to see he's kind of mid. He has a nice AoE though, so he's gonna be good for the Sigen Raid. All right, Galactic Fist. Stat-wise though, again, leaves a little bit to be desired, even when maxed. Like, yeah. Let's just say, yeah, I would probably go with Naruto or anybody else. He doesn't even hit air, so I'm definitely very disappointed with Pegasus Warrior's buff. He did technically get buffed, but that is a mid buff right there, easily B tier. All right. Next up, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Oob. So Oob is another holy enchant unit. So let's go compare him with Naruto. See which one is better. All right, so he's starting out pretty bad. We'll get his raid mode stats. All right, raid mode stats, a little bit over 100,000 DPS versus a little bit over 100,000 DPS. So fairly similar raid mode stats. I think Naruto definitely has a slight edge. And now infinite mode stats. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty nice AoE, so it's actually pretty close. Again, I think Naruto definitely has the edge, though, because Naruto also does hit airs. So I'm going to say Oob is actually pretty decent. I'd probably say B tier, though, as well, but he's not a bad unit at all. All right, let's go check out the next set of units. All right, here we go, guys. Let's get our boy Tokens down. All right, let's check out his... He's a little bit expensive to place. So let's check out his raid mode stats. Again, he's also another good Marine Raid and Spirit Raid unit. Ghost mode, all right, pretty decent stats. Not too expensive either. So fairly decent damage here, and hybrid. Wow, for only 340k, that's pretty good, guys. Almost a million DPS off the rip with no buff. So that's pretty nice. Now, he's a little bit expensive for infinite mode, but that's some pretty decent stats too. Let's see here. So wow, okay. Loki has quite a bit of DPS. Unfortunately, though, he is a smaller circle AoE, which is a little bit disappointing. But honestly, that DPS is pretty good. Like, dang, that was way more than expected. So he has quite a bit of DPS. So with all those stats and stuff, but again, that is also because he has a leader bonus of 15%. So we have to take that into account as well. But I'm definitely going to say he's up in the A tier. Very, very good unit. All right, now we got the three new units. Let's go check those out. All right, here we go. So next up, we got Illumination down. Okay, 9,005. Okay, not bad. Burn stats, though, leaves a little bit to be desired. Like, he's not a bad unit. Like, here's his raid mode stats. Like, that's actually really good. Like, considering the other units we were looking at, like, that's as good as their raid mode stats without burn. And burn is really nice. So, like, he's actually a really respectable unit. But the problem is there's just so many good burn units out there that it's hard to recommend him. But I definitely think he's a pretty good unit. But his infinite mode stats aren't the greatest, but he is not unique, so you can spam him, which is kind of nice. So overall, he's a pretty good burn unit. I think he's up there with all the other burn units. They're pretty well balanced, per se. So I'm going to put this guy up in the A tier with Rengoku. And actually, we could compare him with Bell Cranial real quick. Let's go check out Bell Cranial stats. All right. On ASTD. All right, there we go. Second. All right, Bell is doing 4.6 with 13 SPA. So 4.6 versus 4.5. But are they both hybrid? Yes, they're both hybrid. So very, very similar to Bell Cranials, but this has a nice AoE too. So I'm going to rank them the same because they basically are the exact same unit. They both have a fire element too, so they literally are the exact same unit. Interesting. Very interesting. Alrighty then. Next up, guys, we have the two big heavy hitter 7 stars. So we got Eren. Now, Eren, guys. Bro, this guy is busted. Look at these stats, man. I don't know how much this does exactly, but look at these stats. Look at these stats, man. Oh my, these are ridiculous. I have him on my DPS list as #1 pure damager, guys. The #1 pure damager. The only units that have more DPS than him are Jiren, Ichigo, and Kefla. All right, and Kefla doesn't really count because she takes 2 slots. So Eren is busted OP, guys. The new best damage unit in the game, plus he also has this ability, and that ranking does not even factor in how much it does. All right, so let's just say, guys, Eren is the GOAT, and also in raid mode, Eren is the GOAT as well. Like, this guy's stats are just crazy all around. Like, look at these raid mode stats. Like, that's really, really good. Especially with that full AoE-ness. Like, this guy is busted. And hybrid too? Come on, come on. All right, so next up we have... Actually, I do want to test out the rumbling. So let's go upgrade this real quick so we can test the rumbling out a little bit. Get this all the way popping. All right, that should be good. All right, let's go spawn in a bunch of enemies. All right, so I have 20 enemies spawned. So let's go summon in the rumbling. Let's see how much the rumbling does. All right, let's see if the rumbling is actually working now. All right, the rumbling does work on this. So let's go keep an eye on the damage. All right, is it doing any damage yet? All right, let's see here. They're at 2.8 million, I want to say right now. So they still haven't taken any damage. Okay, they're taking a little bit of damage. Oh, wow. Is it that weak? Yo, that is surprisingly weak. Wow, that was a little bit disappointing, guys. Okay, maybe that ability is worthless. Yeah, maybe we're not gonna use that ability. But then we have Ymir, the founder. All right, she has so many abilities. Her money unit kind of sucks, $1,500. All right, we got attack giant with rewind, which is very nice. All right, look at that. And then it summons a titan with 95 million. All right, then we got armor giants. increases the base HP by 14 million, and summons a 234 million bad boy. And that's a pretty cheap upgrade too. Then we have Flying Giant. Apparently this guy only hits flying now. He got kind of nerfed, but he has a ton of HP. All right, then we have Time Stop. We have Bleed. We have Colossal Giant Nuke. All right, that guy's pretty OP too. Any nukes. All right, and then we also have Abnormal Giant. Now this guy, this makes her burn everybody in the range, and it also summons this big guy right here who has where is he at? 1.1 trillion HP, guys. 1.1 trillion, which is insane. Like, she's ridiculous. So overall, I feel like it's pretty clear where we have to rank all of these units on our tier list. So I'm gonna say she's kind of more a support unit. So I'll put her in S tier for support for sure. Definitely one of the best support units out there. All right, and then we have Eren as well. I'm gonna say Eren's definitely S tier too. He's the highest pure damager unit in the game, and he hits airs. So I feel like we gotta put him in S tier. I think he's up there with UI Goku. Honestly, I don't know which one's better. I think he might be better than UI Goku and Kefla. He's really, really good. Again, these aren't necessarily in order, guys, besides like the tiers, obviously. So let me know what you guys thought about my tier list, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.